Hello again, folks. Skullgrim140. Welcome back to another Transformers review. I haven't done a Transformers review in a while. I've been reviewing other things, mainly other toys and other stuff, to really draw my attention to Transformers in terms of reviewing them. And the mood hasn't really come around for me to really pick up a Transformer and review it. But that today, thankfully, has changed. I'm in the mood to review another Transformer, and of one that is of one of the things that I bought from Auto Assembly this year. So, yes, as you can tell, back from the Transformers review, which today we're going to be taking a look at, as the title above will tell you, Generation 1 Trailbreaker. A really nice toy and a really, really good character, with a few minor problems, but what are you going to do? But I like the toy. The toy's really good. But what can I really say about Trailbreaker and its involvement in the Transformers series? Well, Trailbreaker really is one of those characters that hasn't been seen in a while. And I'm not counting Trailcutter because that's really not Trailbreaker, but you get the idea. But what can be said about Trailbreaker's personality and his character and all that other stuff? Well, Trailbreaker is what he is. And what he is, he's a good-humoured, he's pretty much a good-humoured character. He's not hard to like. He's always ready to crack a joke or make a comment to lighten the mood when things are getting dark. But sadly, the whole humor side of his character is just a cover-up of his low self-esteem in being an old model. But he is pretty much what he is. He's a light-hearted joker who acted as a morale booster for the comrades. And deep down, he considers himself to be nothing more than just an old model and just ready to just break down at any given minute, and so pretty much his low self-esteem is what stands his character out. But he often asks to be left out of missions because he feels like his whole role in Transformers, his whole role in the battle isn't really that useful. So that's pretty much his bio in a nutshell. As his involvement in the series, as it progresses, he really didn't get much development. He was one of those characters, like many other bajillion characters that appeared in the original cartoon, that didn't really get much development. His role in the cartoon, he was voiced by Frank Welker, who has a very enormous career. If you don't know who he is, go look him up. Yes, in the show he was voiced by Frank Welker. In the show, he was mainly just, like he was, the good, hearty character that would make the light of any situation. He acted more, just as the guy to use his force field on a lot of different occasions. He used his force field to put out a fire in More Than Meets the Eye, and he was with Spike and Sparkplug in More Than Meets the Eye as well, and after being saved by the Sunstreaker and Sideswipe. But as the series progressed, though, his character would kind of be a bit downplayed a lot of the time, because after a while he would appear again in Triple Takeover after Blitzwing and after Astro Train and Blitzwing flooded the city. A city, doesn't really matter what it is. Trailbreaker again used his force field to protect himself from a small group of Autobots from a large tidal wave, and his force field later on would save the Autobots from being disintegrated by the sun in Megatron's Master Plan Part 2. So really this guy didn't really have a lot to do, other than just being the guy that would use his force field a lot of the time, so he was just the force field guy, really. He didn't appear in Transformers the movie, although he was one of the characters that was set to die in one of the storyboards that didn't make it into the film. And after the movie, his character didn't really appear after that, and plus he had 84, 85 all over his toy, so his character kind of fizzled out. That's up to a lot of people who want to guess what happened to him after that. But really, his character didn't really do anything much in the show. In the comics, in the original Marvel comics, same character, same good-hearted character with low self-esteem. Also, one thing I forgot to mention, his last appearance in the show was in the episode Masquerade. Yeah, in the Marvel comics, again, same character, only the rapid introduction of a lot of new characters in the Marvel Comics kind of really phased out Trailbreaker a lot of the time. His last appearance in the original Marvel Comics was watching the duel between Grimlock and Blaster, and although he continued to appear in the UK Marvel Comics, including the movie-related arc Space Pirates, he was killed in the Quintesson attack on Autobot City. He was killed in the Quintesson attack on Autobot City. In the Dreamwave Comics, again, not much change except just being the same character, except he, of course, was part of the, he was involved in War Within issues 1 to 5, where he was present under the command of Grimlock at the Battle of Atheliax when the Decepticons destroyed a building full of neutral Cybertronians. So he was pretty much under Grimlock's command. And again, same character, he appeared throughout Prime Directive as well as the IDW, the current IDW comics going at the moment. He has had a few roles in Megatron Origin and Spotlight Cup. But really, his character he didn't really get his own story, sadly. I would like to see this character get more attention, because this really is one of those characters that doesn't get a lot of appreciation. So really, what can you say about Trailbreaker that hasn't already been said? He is a character that has a good sense of humor, light-hearted character, even though he has a lot of low self-esteem. He feels that his role in the Transformers is really to just be nothing more than just an old model. So, and pretty much like he said in More Than Meets the Eye, I think it was part it's More Than Meets the Eye Part 3, where he pretty much says, I'm not built for speed, when he's pretty much trying to outrun the Decepticon jets. And even though he said, I might not be fast, but I'm still tough, even though he might not be the newest model off the line, he's at least ready to go down without a fight. So that's pretty much the character in a nutshell. Trailbreaker really is just a strong, good-hearted character, but underneath all that, though, he has a lot of low self-esteem. He's an old model, and you know what would have been interesting as well? It would have been interesting at least to see this character meet up with the character Cup from Transformers, just to see two old models just meet alongside one another and just both compare one another from how one's older than the other, just to see where that goes. But that's his character really in a nutshell. So anyway, well, now that I've talked a little bit about his character, we're going to talk a little bit about his toy. His toy I actually bought off of Hulkster. Hulkster, if you don't know who he is. Bob, thanks a lot for giving me this. I really like this figure a lot. You know who he is, go subscribe, whatever. But yeah, I got this guy from Auto Assembly this year, from Hulkster, so thanks a lot for that. His mold, of course, is actually a Toyota 4WD Hilux camper truck, or, in other words, a Land Rover. And he is a really, really nice toy. I didn't add the stickers on him, I don't want to, I'm not a big fan of stickers. Well, of course, this being the alt mode, you can't really see the stickers on him. But this is a really nice toy all around. A neat, tightly packed alt mode. Nothing really that you can say about it, there's not much detail added to it. It is, as it says on the tin, plastic with a mix of die-cast, so this has a lot going for it in terms of just being what it is. And it's a really, really good toy. And in terms of his alt mode, he can't really do anything else except, of course, on the top, you can actually lift up this lid, which of course you can put a passenger inside. And this figure was originally one of the Diaclone molds, which of course then got made into what it is now. And of course this mold was used to make Hoist. So this toy has had its fair share of legacy. Other than that, though, we have not seen any other version of Trailbreaker, if you count Trail Cutter from the Universe line. And really, I don't like that toy because it's not Trailbreaker, because, okay, the reason why he's called Trail Cutter in that toy is because, trademark bullshit. So, they can't use the name Trailbreaker anymore for any future toys. But, that being said, can we please see a classics version of this toy? Because I would like to see a classic version of this toy. Yeah, other than that, of course, like all G1 Transformers, he has the rub-off, rub-on symbol. Come on, work. Well, I don't know if you can see or not, but yeah, he's not a bot. That's really all you need to know. And of course, rubber tires, which thankfully haven't broken, so that's really good. And of course, he rolls very, very well, depending on which surface you have. I'm just using my hand as an example, but there you go. So there you go, that's pretty much the toy in a nutshell. He is a really, really good toy. Blue windows, and of course, that's really nice. Again, the toy is really, really good. It's not perfect, but it's a pretty damn good alt mode, all the best. Nothing more you can say about the alt mode, really. And the transformation aside, the transformation for this figure really is not that complicated. Like a lot of the other G1 Transformers, a lot of the transformation for the figures, with an exception of a few complicated ones, aren't that complicated. But the early figures aren't that complicated to transform. First thing you need to do, of course, is just fold out the sides, which of course will become the arms, and then lift out the legs and slot them into this piece right here. Right there. And of course lift up the feet, and of course slot that down and lift up the backpack, which of course will reveal the head. There we go. And here is Trailbreaker in his currently incomplete robot mode. What can I say that hasn't already been said about this figure? It's not a bad toy. It's not show accurate in any way, shape, or form, but I think it's actually pretty good. Let's look at the head sculpt first of all. Now, the head sculpt in the cartoon, Trailbreaker actually had a mouth, whereas in the toy he actually has no mouth, so he's pretty much a mouthless character. I guess you could say he has a mouth plate, even though it's not really seen. Blue eyes to show that he's an Autobot. So really, that's really all I can say about a few of the things about this figure. Limb-wise, of course, like I mentioned before in the alt mode, he is made up of mostly die-cast and plastic. The chest is die-cast, and I think the feet are die-cast as well. And the legs, yeah, the legs are die-cast as well. So this has got die-cast all over it. It's a great toy. Good toy. Articulation-wise, it's a G1 figure. Articulation really isn't what G1 is known for, but of course the arms can rotate the full 360, and the elbows can bend like so. And the head can't move either. And of course, with this being a Generation 1 toy, he does come with a fair amount of accessories to help make him feel a bit more complete. In that, he comes with the following. He comes with 2 fists, 2 missiles. Oh, hang on. Where they go? 2 fists, 2 missiles, 2 more missiles, and a thing. This is actually supposed to be his force field generator, which you can fit on the back of his head. So let's get this guy in with all of his accessories. And to just make him with a bit more show accuracy, I'm going to give him 1 fist and 1 missile. Oh, sorry, there goes the missile. There we go. 1 missile, and of course, Trailbreaker wouldn't be Trailbreaker without his force field generator at the back of his head. So there you go. That's pretty much Trailbreaker. You can pretty much change the missiles all around, or you can pretty much just give him 2 fists so that he's not one-handed. But the missile-wise, nothing really you can say special about them. Of course, if you look on the arms, there's a red button right there, which of course, if you press the button, it shoots out the missile for fun and all that other stuff. So it's a nice little gimmick for this figure to have. So really, not much you can say about this figure. I think this figure is really, really good. For the time, it was able to be what it is, and it's a simple figure at that. The paintwork is very good. The plastic, of course, being an old toy, is very, very good. The die-cast is, again, the reflection on the sunlight. The die-cast is, again, a nice feature. Everything about this figure is really, really good. So thanks again to Bob Hulkster for letting me buy this off of you. It's a really, really good toy. And Hasbro, if you're listening, I'm pretty sure you aren't, but if you are, make a classics version of this toy, because it's really, really good. It's a really good toy. I would like to see a classics version, not Trail Cutter, but a classics version of this guy with articulation and a much more show-accurate head, because I think show accuracy is the one thing that we always look for in toys, and that's the one thing that I think at least help make these figures a lot more what they are. But there you go, that's pretty much Trailbreaker in a nutshell. He's a character that is pretty much, he's an old character with a bit of a light-hearted sense of humor. He doesn't think that much of himself. He's got low self-esteem. But other than that, he's a battle-hardened warrior that's pretty much able to stay out of missions, but able to at least make a joke out of the situation, no matter how bad it is. And the toy is still pretty good. So anyway, this has been G1 Trailbreaker, and I am Skullgrim140. Thanks for watching, everybody. I'll see you all soon. Take care. Bye.